In this action research project, the researcher has set out to gain a more clear understanding of the distinct nature of second language, or L2, writing in the higher education context. While many L2ers have achieved the basic necessary qualifications for university admissions, the researcher has observed that these students still encounter unique challenges in producing syntactically mature prose that is expected of them throughout their composition and discipline courses. The researcher therefore gathered and synthesized findings from various bodies of both qualitative and quantitative empirical research relevant to L2 writing in order to create a coherent understanding of the distinct characteristics of L2 composing processes and written text features of L2 texts. Based on the foundations discussed in the literature review, the researcher then drew implications regarding specific instructional modifications and approaches best suited for L2 student writers to be implemented in the action plan. According to the Open Doors report on international educational exchange data in the U.S., for the past 6 decades, there has been an increase each year over the prior year in the number of international student enrollment in higher education in the U.S. Most of the international student population are also classified as ESL, or English as a Second Language, students. Research reveals that ESL students have a much higher rate of failure in mainstream classrooms than First Language students, also known as L1 students. And while there are many barriers to enrollment, admissions, and retention for international students in U.S. colleges, the language barrier remains to be one of the main factors that influence retention and graduation rates. Of the various academic challenges that these ESL students face, many of these students struggle most with their writing, which also obscures their ability to demonstrate conceptual understanding in a subject area. It is clear that ESL students require special preparation for academic writing across the disciplines, and in order to help ESL students achieve academic success, it is important for educators to understand the nuances of ESL writing difficulties and acknowledge and address such differences. This research, therefore, aims to discuss research on the differences of L1 and L2 writing and discuss the academic considerations unique to L2 writing that can be implemented in institutions of higher education to better promote ESL students' academic success. Some research questions this action research project has aimed to answer is 1. How exactly does L1 and L2 writing differ, and what implications do these differences have on L2 writing instruction? And 2, how can educators apply research from L2 composition to college-level ESL students to promote enhanced academic writing skills and overall academic success? The ESL Writing Project will be incorporating Kroll's suggestions for course placement and sequencing for prospective students. Kroll in 1990 also suggested that writing programs be designed to dedicate different courses to the different competencies so as to alleviate the problem of ESL students' writing needs only being partially addressed in the mainstream composition classroom. Incorporating Kroll's advice, this project design will include 2 different tracks, a rhetorical competency track and a grammatical competency track. Students who exhibit weakness in rhetorical competency but strength in grammatical competency will be placed only in the main rhetorical track. Students who are also weak in their grammatical competency will also be placed in the grammar track alongside the rhetorical track. On the other hand, students who exhibit rhetorical competency but lack grammatical competency may skip the rhetorical track and simply take the grammar track. By splitting up ESL composition courses into rhetorical and grammatical components and placing students according to their specific needs, the program will also satisfy what Silva suggested in 1993 when he stated that L2 writing pedagogy needs to address macro and micro level textual concerns. This includes audience expectations, strategies for producing potentially unfamiliar rhetorical patterns, and tools for enhancing L2 student writers' lexical and grammatical resources. The purpose of the ESL Writing Project was to design a program that would address the unique linguistic and rhetorical challenges experienced by second language writers in the higher education contexts. For this project specifically, the researcher focused on her immediate context, which is teaching high intermediate adult ESL students academic writing skills at a local community learning center. The entire project, including placement essay prompts and rubrics, syllabi for the grammatical and rhetorical components, as well as detailed schedules and lesson plans for the first day of each class, can be accessed at the website below. From the beginning, this capstone project has been a test as to how badly I really want this degree and how badly I want to teach ESL at the college level. Every curveball that I could possibly encounter, I have, but I'm still here at the end. The idea for this project began even before I pursued the master's program and has grown into a full manifestation of all the knowledge I acquired from the program and from my experience as a volunteer ESL tutor. The ESL Writing Project has a capability to be adapted for different proficiency levels and educational contexts, particularly the suggestion for assessment and placement. The ESL Writing Project, or parts of it, will hopefully become a consideration for many writing centers and college campuses to adopt so that the unique needs of our ESL students can be more effectively acknowledged and addressed. The very mission of this project is to provide ESL students with a more level playing field to succeed in their academic writing endeavors as their NES peers.